In this video, you will learn how getting stronger actually works. We'll talk about the adoption cycle and the 3 types of adaptations you need to get as strong as possible. I have over a decade in lifting experience and I have helped numerous people reach their strength goals. These really are the fundamentals of getting stronger. Getting stronger happens in a 3-step process called the adaptation cycle. The first part of the adaptation cycle is the stimulus. This is why we go to the gym. The goal is to come into the gym and give our body more than it's used to. In this way, we can disrupt our body. This disruption part is essential. So simply put, step 1 comes down to we get into the gym, we want to challenge our body hard enough to disrupt it. Now for the second part of the process, recovery. We used up our energy, we damaged our muscles during our workout. Now we have to give it time to replenish our energy and heal our muscles. If we were to go into the gym again right after our first training session, we would actually be weaker because we haven't given our body proper time to recover. How we now actually get to the part where we get stronger is in the next step. And now for the third and final part of the process, which is the adaptation. If we have provided a disrupting stimulus to our body and we have given ourselves the time to properly recover, our body will not only return to the original strength levels we were before, but it will adapt to get better at handling the challenge we have given to it. So we end up getting better at the specific challenge we give to our body. And this concludes the whole process of the adaptation cycle. Now that we understand the adaptation cycle, we can get into the 3 types of adaptations you will need to get as strong as possible. The first one are technique adaptations. This simply comes down to being able to use your muscles together in a proper way to execute the lift you want to get better at in the most efficient way possible. The second type are hypertrophy adaptations. This simply comes down to getting as big as possible. The reason we want to get as big as possible is because a bigger muscle has a higher strength potential. And then finally, we have the strength adaptations themselves. This is where we train our muscles to be able to produce more force. Now, the next logical question is, how do we actually train to achieve all the things we talked about? The 3 types of adaptations we talked about require a slightly different approach to train. When you start with the technique adaptations, if you would specifically want to train your technique, you would probably want to train with lesser weight and a higher frequency, so you have the ability to practice those lifts more frequently. If you're going for hypertrophy, we're really looking for still a high enough frequency, but we focus especially on the volume. When we then get to the strength adaptations, here the main focus should be moving heavier weights and having a moderate frequency so we have the ability to properly recover from the work with those heavier weights. Depending on where you are at your lifting career and what you're focused on, your training approach will change. As a beginner, you basically need all 3 types of adaptations. So you will probably train with moderately heavy weights for a moderate to high frequency, so you have lots of practice to get the technique down, and you can train with sufficient volume to stimulate hypertrophy, and this will be enough to get better technique, to get bigger muscles, and to get stronger. As you then evolve to becoming a more of an intermediate lifter, the technique component becomes less important and you only need to maintain the good technique that you've built up to this point. Now the main focus becomes hypertrophy and the strength adaptations. So our frequency will probably drop by a little bit, and we might train with some more heavier loads. Then finally, the more advanced we become, we'll start to solely focus on those strength adaptations where our technique and our hypertrophy are put on maintenance, and we just try to get as strong as possible with the technique and the muscle that we have. To now put it all together, strength training fundamentally comes down to training hard enough to disrupt your body, giving yourself the proper time to recover, which will then lead to adaptations which will make you stronger than you were before. Any training that you do should either be improving your technique, making your muscles bigger, or making your muscles stronger. This video covers the basics of strength training. If you're interested in much more videos about anything to do with strength training, be sure to subscribe for my next video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.